Hi, welcome to this pranayama session with me. This can be either a continuation of the asana practice or a standalone practice as it is. We have two blocks here. I have them stacked lowest and second highest facets. I'm going to take a blanket over that just to make it a little more comfortable. Okay. I want the first block to be beneath my shoulder blades and the second block to be under my head. And I'm actually going to take the end of the blanket and tuck it under my head so I have even a little more lift to my head and a little bit more what we call Jalandhara Bandha at the throat. And the arms can just be resting at the sides. If for any reason you feel like you need something under your pelvis, like if you have any discomfort in your lower back, please add another blanket or pillow under your pelvis until you feel like that is not there anymore. Begin to allow your breath to expand. And think of the breath moving in all directions, front, sides, and back. And try to make the breath as even as possible. And then once you've established that balance, you're going to start to add a brief pause at the top of your inhale. So you inhale, the inhale comes in. There's a pause at the top. The exhale goes out slowly, still at the same pace that you were working. You'll repeat that. So as you take your inhale in, see that you're mostly filling your rib cage. Your stomach will move a little bit, but try to direct most of the movement into your ribs and do that without adding any layer of aggression or pushiness. And then a pause after the top of the inhale, a few moments, and then exhale slowly out, same tempo. Do that one more time. Draw the breath in, fill your rib cage. Holding briefly at the top, maybe 2, 3, 4 seconds. And then exhale slowly out the way the breath came in. Return back to breathing mostly in your belly so that your navel expand every time you inhale and soften every time you exhale. Okay, we're going to finish with this very simple breath exercise by extending the exhalation. So we have our inhale, we have our hold, and we have our exhale, which will be longer. If you wanted to make this really specific and you feel some comfort from things like counting and ratios, you can think of this breath as a 1-1-2 ratio. The inhale and the hold are the same length, and the exhale is twice as long. It doesn't have to be twice as long, but it can be up to twice as long. So let's begin. As you take your next exhale, draw your navel back and down towards your spine. And then take a long inhalation, filling the rib cage. Hold at the top of your inhale. And And then the slowest exhale to come out through the nose, very, very slow descent, release of the breath, slow and slow. And then take a resting breath into your belly. And do that 2 more times. So a long inhalation into the ribs, followed by a long hold, followed by a longer exhalation. Do that twice more and then just rest. After you finish those cycles of breath, just a rest, a deep rest. If you need to, you can come off of your blocks and rest on your back. In the next couple of moments, you can bend your knees and pause with the knees bent, continuing to feel the ways that your back body relates to the blocks and to the floor. And then roll your knees over to one side, roll to the arm on that side. Use your hands to support you. Let your head stay really heavy and your neck relaxed as you press yourself up to sit. And just gather yourself for a moment, sitting in any comfortable position. I'm sitting in Vajrasana, but please feel free to sit on a blanket or a block or a chair. And just arrive into the space of your mind. In the asana practice that goes with this pranayama practice, we talked about slowing down, listening to the voice of the body, paying attention, really paying attention. To listen before any outer source comes in. So we receive instruction, we might receive corrections in class, or we give ourselves our own corrections, but do we allow ourselves the space to be as we are before we apply something on top? So here, after the breath, after working with your mind and your breath, what do you feel? There's no right answer. Or you could flip that and say, all the answers are right answers. Let yourself soak in the experience that is you, in all of its joy, all of its pain, all of its heartache, all of its hope. Let that be enough for right now, just this moment. Can it be enough? If your mind is really distracted, can that be enough? If your heart is breaking, can that be enough? If you're is boiling, can that be enough? Can you make space for it? Just feel your breath for one more instant in your body, wherever you feel it. And then to close, take any posture, any position, any placement of the hands that resonates for you. It could be on your body or in a mudra, in the position of prayer. Whatever resonates for you as a way to close and to seal the practice, to complete it. And yet to also say that this completion is yet another step on the way out the door, on the way to meet your family, on the way to get in your car and drive and interact with other drivers, on the way to everything else. So with that, we close. With a deep sense of gratitude for this practice, for our ability to pay attention, and for our capacity and possibility to shift ourselves into a more whole sense of being human. Thank you so much.